Hello and welcome to today's webinar, How to Use an Industry Product Database to Boost Efficiency. I'm Jason Knott, Chief Content Officer of Commercial Integrator and CE Pro, brands that are published by Emerald, our parent company. You know, there may not be any more important time than right now for integrators to be super efficient. The supply chain is totally crunched. Integrators are working 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. They are under pressure to be as efficient as possible and specify and find and compare the right products for the right applications as quickly as possible so they can get those things into the suppliers and move that supply chain along and not have any delivery delays and thus installation delays. And that's where the AV-iQ online comparison tool comes in. And with me today to talk about how that tool can help commercial AV integrators and in the future, residential integrators are some special guests. First, I want to introduce Mark Loftus, president of AV-iQ. Hi, Mark.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Also with us today is Matt McLean, director of marketing at Keycode Media in Burbank, California. Hi, Matt.
Hey, good to see you.
And last but not least, with us today is Vin Bruno of AV Services. Hi, Vin.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me.
All right, let's dig right into the topic at hand. First, let me talk to Mark, and let's kind of get a glimpse of what the AV-iQ tool is. So, Mark, tell us a little bit about the history of the AV-iQ, when it came about, and exactly what it does.
Yeah, and again, thanks for having me today. AV-iQ at its core is a repository for manufacturers to submit all of their detailed product information into a database that can be used by integrators, dealers, AV consultants, engineers, architects, AV tech managers, anybody whose job it is to find and research detailed product information for purchasing decisions or install into an AV project. It provides a place for end users to have one platform that presents hundreds of brands of products in a single format that makes it easy and efficient to find, compare, and specify products across all of their preferred brands. And then they can connect either directly with the brand themselves to request quotes or more information, or they can find a local integrator or dealer that represents that brand to help them either purchase that equipment or inquire about an installation project. And in fact, going back in the history, AV-iQ's been around for over 20 years, and one of the principles that started AV-iQ was in fact a former AV integrator. And the goal was to create that database that we could present all the products on a single website, and also though build custom digital catalogs for that dealer integrator to place on their own website and pull in product information from all of their brands for not only their customers to browse through, but also their own staff to be able to have something at their fingertips to find all the details they need for the brands that they use.
Fantastic. Let's dig into some of the key benefits for both the manufacturers and the integrators. Yeah,
definitely. The benefits for the manufacturers are somewhat obvious in that we provide for them, a marketing tool and a way to communicate to their channel all of their content. So not just their product information, but at a certain level, they can include all of their marketing material that goes along with that product information, whether it's press releases, news, their videos, case study content. A lot of our users like to browse through the website to see real life installation projects in a case study, and then find the products that were used in those. So all of that information for a manufacturer is a supplementary marketing opportunity for them beyond their website, in a place where users are coming to find all the brands that they use. And all of that content has links back to the manufacturer website, what really helps drive traffic to their website and gives their own domain some SEO value as well. And in terms of how it's used with the integrator or even the end user, the easiest thing for me to do is probably just share my screen. So let me pull up the AV-iQ website, and I can walk through a little bit of what the functionality is and how it's used. This is the main website where we house hundreds of brands and over 400,000 products, to include a lot of marketing information for the user to browse through as well. So if I scroll down here, you'll see certain types of content that we highlight. Some of our sponsor brands will feature a case study on our homepage every single month. We've got a featured manufacturer, and then some insight for the users on what is being browsed on the most. As an end user, you can come to this website and do keyword searches. You can find products based on a category. If you know exactly who you're looking for, you can either type in a manufacturer's name and go directly to their page, their landing page, or you can browse through our entire list of manufacturers on this page. And again, there's hundreds of manufacturers, just under 1,500 in fact. So you can pretty much find any commercial AV manufacturer in the industry. As I mentioned, a lot of the users come to the site to view some of the other content. We've got case studies, news, videos. We've got a calendar of events that they can browse through, and as well as online training content. So when a user comes in and they're searching for products, they can come into any category, and we will list out products from hundreds of manufacturers in that category. And within that functionality, they can start to do some product comparisons. They can add these to project lists if they are building a list that they want to share with colleagues or clients, or they can find a local integrator or reseller. So if I click on to some of these compare functionalities, I can come to a page where these products will be compared side by side. And again, they can then be added to a project list, or the user can click into the product detail page and get a little bit more information to include technical specs, documents, videos. And from this page, they can request a quote directly to the manufacturer, or they can click on the find a dealer functionality to see somebody in a local, in their local area. So if I click into this area, I can put in a zip code and I'll get a result of different dealer integrators that we've built custom catalogs for. And from this page, the user now finds somebody locally that they can contact, and they can either click on a contact button and send something directly to AV services. And in this particular zip code, we also have Keycode Media, who we'll be talking to later. Or they can click directly into the integrator's website. And this is actually a catalog that we've built. It looks like AV Services website, and as you can see, it looks just like the product detail page we were looking at on the AV-iQ main website, but we've built this custom for AV Services. And so it incorporates their entire look, feel, and their entire website navigation. And so when you click on their homepage, directly from their navigation is a products button that includes this catalog. So from the end user standpoint, you just feel like you're on AV Services' own digital catalog. One of the main benefits to this, outside of just having this content accessible for their clients and their staff, is that we've built hundreds of pages of content that all link back with navigation to their own website. So the SEO value alone is worth every penny. And I can show you an example of what that looks like. So if you go to Google, you can see how many times a domain is indexed. And this is one of our other clients, Continuant. So if I go to Continuant and I see how many pages on Continuant website have been indexed by Google, you see there's over 7,780 pages indexed. Of those, the subdomain that they've created, avproducts.continuant.com, is just specifically for the digital catalog that we've built for them. And of those 7,780, 7,720 of them are the subdomain, meaning the AV-iQ catalog. So their own website gets about 60 pages of content indexed by Google. And by including an AV-iQ catalog on their website, another 7,000 plus are being indexed. So this has tremendous SEO value, drives a lot of traffic to their website. And so that alone is one of the key benefits to having the digital catalog from AV-iQ for an integrator or reseller. So some of the other advantages that the integrator has is they can also include their own marketing content. So integrators can add their own case studies or their news and press releases to the website as well. So it's a marketing tool as well as a product research tool for the integrator. I'll show you too, this is a page that we can go to that shows all of the integrators that we build. And this is an overview of all the benefits, but we can go to a page where all the integrators that we build digital catalogs for are listed. So you can see there's quite a few partners that we build catalogs for in the commercial AV space. Some of these names that you'll recognize. So that's you know, for the most part, the tool is there integrated into their website, provides tremendous SEO value for them, and really kind of drives leads to their sales teams.
When those end users come in, they're able to obviously do the product comparisons as you show, and then reach out to the integrator. Are they seeing strictly MSRPs on the products that have the pricing?
Yeah, that's correct. Most manufacturers provide the MSRP in a registered user environment, so that they can view that as a data point as to what they're trying to find. And the users can then create, as I mentioned earlier, they can add products to a project list. I can show you in this environment. They can build project lists, and from that project list, you can email that to a colleague or a client. You can do a request quote on an entire list of products as well, or you can export it to a Word document, a PDF, text file. You can also take that project list of products and download it into a format that you can import into DTools if you're an integrator that's a DTools user. And we'll be adding more software applications to this that people can download the information so they can use it in other tools.
What is the recent partnership that AV-iQ announced with Emerald, and why did that make sense now?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. We're really excited about this partnership with Emerald's audience reach and commercial AV, residential AV, and even in the security space, which we'll be looking into future build outs. We see a perfect opportunity to expand the audience with Emerald, and immediately we've seen such tremendous growth in the residential space over the last year or so that we felt creating a version of AV-iQ specifically for the residential market was overdue. And we can't think of a better partner to build that with than Emerald and CE Pro.
All right, fantastic, Mark. Well, now let's turn and get that rubber meets the road perspective with a couple of integration firms. And first, let me talk to Matt McLean of Keycode Media. All right, Matt, now that we've gotten an overview of the tool from Mark, let's talk a little bit about how you use it at Keycode Media. But first, tell us a little bit about Keycode Media.
Sure. Keycode Media is a AV production and broadcast system integrator and reseller. We just celebrated 20 years in business last week, so we're super excited about that. And essentially, we have 9 offices locations across the US, and we're supporting everything from large media entertainment businesses figure out design, integration, install, aftermarket support, to churches and classrooms and schools. So it spreads the gamut as far as the technology, and a lot of it comes from us having deep reseller relationships with over 400 manufacturers, which from those 400 have hundreds of products, and best in breed engineers that are certified in those technologies so that people get the install right the first time, as well as something that's a little different is we have 24/7 aftermarket support plans, so we can continue to maintain that equipment over time, as well as our Keycode Education School, which is a California-based school, although we do training online, virtually or privately for businesses. And we keep the entire staff of those companies up to speed with how that equipment works, whether it's existing employees learning new equipment or new employees coming on board that need to get up to speed with the equipment installed at their facilities.
Well, it's quite a diverse company. And you mentioned all those 400 product manufacturers and suppliers, plus the vertical niches that you were just talking about, which means you probably have a wide array of product that you're having to specify for those applications. So tell us a little bit about your experience with AV-iQ. How long have you been using that tool?
Yeah, well, it's a bit complicated. So when Keycode Media acquired Burst Communications out of Colorado, they were actually using the tool. And at the time, Keycode Media had been launched several iterations of web stores, and we found it very challenging because when you could create that e-commerce experience, you could put 1,000 product pages up, but suddenly those products were out of date. New SKU available, new version. So who's going to update those 1,000 product pages and keep that maintaining, and realizing that e-commerce is something that's so important because we need to be able to facilitate the transactional business for our customers. But we also need to figure out a way to keep those pages relevant and maintained by manufacturers so that anyone can come on, find the products they're looking for through a Google search, ending up onto our AV-iQ Keycode Media catalog, and to be able to have a smooth purchasing equipment, find the text specifications, the descriptions, the images, and be able to log in, create an account, create a wish list of items, and submit it to our inside sales teams to process those transactions.
So you actually have the AV-iQ tool embedded into your website?
Yes. So for our customers, AV-iQ, probably the customer doesn't even know it's AV-iQ. It's a Keycode Media branded product catalog. And then we work very closely with the AV-iQ team to get our manufacturers on a yearly, biannually basis to send their updated products to them so that we continuously have the most relevant products listed on our website for customers. And then they can just simply have a shopping cart experience. This sends a request to our sales team to follow up and complete the transaction.
So if you didn't have that tool, let's talk a little bit about dive in on the benefit element of it. If you didn't have that, what would you be required to do? And so specifically, is it really a time saver, or is it just an informational element that helps both you and your clients?
Yeah, I look at it a few different ways. From the marketing perspective, you want to have people searching for products end up on your website for those products and be able to easily find the information they're looking for and submit a request for more information. On a web store side, you're talking about building out a web store like these massive e-commerce sites like Amazon. It requires a lot of maintenance, and for integrators, I don't care small or large, it requires having a web dev team that is massive and expensive to maintain. So AV-iQ really takes all that pain away by taking the part of maintaining the product pages, the categorization of products, working with manufacturers to set everything up directly. That saves me time as a marketer to be able to work on, the creative webinars and videos that blog posts that we do to help educate our customers.
Last question, can you think of any specific example where a customer who found it on the website and ended up resulting in a big project, or some sort of time-saving mechanism, or some specific anecdote where it helped benefit Keycode Media?
Sure. I mean, that happens all the time where, we talk about the business funnel of interest all the way to closed business. And those interests come from different ways. Sometimes people are coming because they're looking for a large, building a television studio, all the way to someone saying, okay, I'm being told I need to build a TV studio, and part of it is going to be a new tech TriCaster, right? So what happens is, by having yourself searchable on the product level, sometimes you're finding out, oh, there is a larger project here. It's not just that switch, that video switcher. It's a video switcher, it's lighting, it's cameras, it's the whole shebang. And so being able to be there on the product side is giving our sales team an indicator of upcoming opportunities that might be much larger. And oftentimes, sometimes it is just that product. They're just coming for that one piece of equipment, and that's okay too.
All right, fantastic. Is there anything else you want to mention about AV-iQ before we move on?
Yeah, Mark and Levy and team, they have been fantastic to work with. I work mostly with Levy on a day-to-day basis. He's extremely responsive. He's working very closely with, as we bring on new manufacturers and introduce them to AV-iQ, he's so quick at getting their products up on the site. And it just makes it really easy for us. Next steps, we're looking to how we can take this database and actually turn it into an actual e-commerce experience where people can actually submit, click, send your credit card information, and make the purchase. And AV-iQ has been very open to leveraging their database for us to have a true turnkey e-commerce experience.
Fantastic, great information. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Nice meeting you.
All right, let's get another rubber meets the road perspective from another integration company and turn to Vin. Vin, first of all, tell us about AV Services.
AV Services, we're a terrific company located in northern New Jersey, 20 minutes outside of Manhattan. We're a 61-year-old company. We have predominantly served longtime Fortune 50 clients. We have offices here in Fairfield, New Jersey, our headquarters, in Times Square, Manhattan, in Danbury, Connecticut, and in San Francisco.
All right, let's talk about AV-iQ. How long has AV Services been using AV-iQ, and how's it worked for you?
Well, I've been using it. We have been using it for 2 years, and it's fantastic. There's no way we can manage products on our own as well as AV-iQ manages products for us.
So you actually have it embedded in your website?
Yes, we do. And it's a great database of product for any technical information that we need. But more importantly, our clients turn to our website for their product information.
So when an end user customer is looking to find product, he or she is going to find that comparison on AV Services website and then see you as the go-to experts and then reach out to you to possibly fulfill that project.
We get lists of products to quote on daily through the AV-iQ portal on our website. It provides us with the opportunity to educate the client that they don't just have to buy the product, that we can intelligently integrate it into the systems they have in mind. We use the tool AV-iQ to help our clients design their systems, and then ultimately those turn into integration projects for us.
Let's talk about another element of AV-iQ. Does your team use it internally to compare products to find the right product for the right application?
Well, absolutely, right. That's a given that there are easy ways to compare products thanks to AV-iQ. We help our clients with their systems and standards and maintaining and updating and improving standards. So it's very easy for us to send links from our website to them from the IQ portal. But the answer is yes, we do utilize the tool for our own requirements. Most of the time, 99+% of the time, we use it as information for our clients.
So last question, do you recall any specific anecdote or specific application where an end user was using the tool on your site and it ended up resulting in a large project or something of that nature?
Well, it's actually quite frequent. Our sales team now, we have to divide, the number of installation opportunities that come from, the AV-iQ portal. Because again, the end user client, they may be insurance companies, real estate firms, restaurants. Those are some of the type of clients that have come through the portal, and it most times leads to the opportunity to us to go on site and then meet with the client in person and we assist them with their requirements.
Fantastic. Sounds like it's a valuable tool. So Vin, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Jason. It's great seeing you.
So if an integrator or a Tech Decisions end user wants to find out more information about AV-iQ, what does he need to do? He or she need to do?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for asking. First, you can go to visit the website, AV-iQ.com. And in the navigation, there's an About Us section that really explains some of the benefits that we talked about today. And from there, there's a link to our sales@aviq.com email address. And you can inquire about how your company can benefit from having a catalog or using the tools.
Okay, thanks to Mark, Matt, and Vin for joining me today. And now I want to turn to audience questions with Mark.